The question is heard across our great country. What do we patriots do now? It's a tough question. There are not many answers. Brother and sister Americans, now more than ever, now harder than ever, we must fight. Biden, Pelosi, AOC, that illegal alien who sits in our Congress, thanks to Biden and Obama, Bernie, and all of those other dyed-in-the-wool socialists and communists, sadly, those are probably the people who will be running our nation for the next 4 years. So my question once again is, what do patriots do right now? To all of us who are disappointed, hurt, saddened, angry, frustrated, to all of us, I speak today. Americans, we must fight. We do not surrender. From the Boston Commons in 1776 to Appomattox in 1865, to the trenches of France in 1917, to Vietnam, to Afghanistan, Iraq, we never surrender. American patriots do not surrender. There are 7 battles right now on which we must not, we cannot surrender. Battle 1 is God. America is a God-fearing, God-loving country. America started as a Christian country. For over 200 years, we were a Christian nation. We always said to others, come to America. We Christians will not trample your worship of your God. But we stood by, we sat back and let a small group trample our worship. Stop us from worshiping our own God in our own country. We ought to be ashamed. We did not stand up. We did not fight at that crucial moment. We let these creeps steal the prayers right out of our school children's mouths. We let them stop us from praying in our public meetings. We let them evict baby Jesus from America's nativity scenes across this country. We let them. So, patriots, battle 1 is to take a step back, make absolutely clear that America is a tolerant Christian nation. And we must beat back those cockroaches who want to make us a God-less, moral-less Sodom and Gomorrah, boys and girls' bathrooms. America, our second battle is for our economy. Those people, Bernie and Biden and AOC and all of the rest of the socialists, all of them want to wreck the American economy. Those cockroaches want to destroy our major American industries. They want to destroy the automobile industry, the coal industry, the oil and gas industry. They want to destroy millions and millions of American jobs which support American families. They don't care who they hurt or how they hurt us. The cockroaches want to destroy us. We must defend our industries and we must defend our economy. We must not surrender. Okay, just a personal moment. I'm a United States Navy sailor who can cuss like a sailor. And I'm a Baptist preacher who can't cuss at all. So, cockroaches is as strong a word as I can use. And it's not easy when my heart and my head are filled with deep passion for my country. Strong language aside, Americans, our third battle is that we must take back the education system. Today we let unprepared and undisciplined kids disrupt K through 12 American education. Kids unprepared, unready, unable to sit in America's classrooms and participate in the education process. They destroy education for the other 29 children in those classrooms. Ask teachers. And we just stand by and let the violence, the disruptions, destroy American education. America's urban schools produce more dropouts, single mothers, and drug dealers than they produce doctors, lawyers, and engineers. We let our schools no longer discipline and no longer teach respect. Teachers are not permitted to control their classrooms. We let the cockroaches stop our schools from teaching history, civics, and love for America. Americans, let's rescue American education from the unions and from the cockroach politicians. And let's start with school choice, vouchers, charter schools, education tax reforms, programs, school choice, to educate our children right now while public education gets its act together. We cannot surrender America's future. The fourth major battle facing us patriots, the fourth line that we must defend, is federal spending. $27 trillion in federal debt. Spending to make the world better, spending to make lives in other countries better, would be a great idea if we first took care of our veterans, our homeless, our elderly, our poor. But that is not happening. Not only is much of our money not spent on Americans first, but much of our money that they're supposed to be sending overseas to make their lives better, much of that money winds up back here in the hands and bank accounts of corrupt politicians. Donald Trump tried to tell us, but not enough people listened. Follow the dollars. The dollars wind up in families who became millionaires on public servant salaries. Ask Hunter Biden. Ask Joe Biden. Ask Obama. We must stop that corruption. Trump tried to drain the swamp, but the corruption from the Pentagon, the FBI, the deep state, from the corrupt politicians, all of them, just fought him up until this last moment. Our Christian values, our education, our economy, corrupt spending. And yet there's another battle. It is division. Division, identity, politics, being a hyphenated American. People are actually paid to pit us one against the other, to pit us white against black, to divide us and to conquer us. They want to destroy our monuments. They want to reinterpret our history. Wait, let me give you an example. They lie and say that slavery was only a problem here, despite proof that it was all over much of the world and still exists in many places. And they say it could not have existed. Well, understand this. It was an African man, a black cockroach, who kidnapped and sold my ancestor into that slavery system. Without those black cockroaches, slavery as we know it could not have existed. But now, the dividers want to revise history and place all of the blame of slavery on white people. They ignore that many blacks, as bad as slavery was, many blacks thrived during slavery. They ignore all of the black slave owners. And we stand by and let them sell their humbug to uneducated and underwear people in America. Another important battle is the battle for gun ownership. The cockroaches want to disarm us. They want to take away our guns. and leave our families defenseless against this Biden government, which has already told us what they're going to do to us and to our country. If we let them succeed in taking our guns, only the government and criminals will have guns. But only if we surrender our guns. Only if we give up our guns. These are 6 of the battles which America must fight. These are the battles which Americans cannot lose lest we lose the greatest nation in the history of earth. Not ancient Greece, not ancient Britain, not even ancient Rome can compare to the greatness of America today. Yet, there are those who would sell us out, who would flush us into the toilets of history. They turn against us. They work with our enemies to destroy us. Not only can we not surrender our guns, but also we better keep them loaded. And yet there's still one more battle. It is for the basic nature, the character, the language, the values of this nation. These people coming to power now are flooding this country with millions, not thousands, millions of too often poor, illiterate, often diseased, too often criminally violent immigrants from all corners of the world, despite our 26 million Americans who are hungry, despite the millions and millions of Americans out of work, despite a worldwide pandemic of COVID and other diseases, despite all of this, Biden and the communists want to open our borders to anyone and everyone from everywhere. They give all kinds of excuses. They're just children. Yeah, 14 to 20. They come from poverty and pain. Yeah, and they bring poverty and pain with them to this country. They also bring very different values, these new Americans. Too many newcomers to America don't love our God, don't love our country, won't speak our language, and don't love us. Our borders need to be shut tight. Every illegal alien in our country today should be removed and returned to their places of origin. We should then greatly limit the number and types of people we let in and give free everything to. America, our course is set. The battle lines are drawn. What do we patriots do now? The answer is we fight. We fight for God and we fight for country. With every breath, we fight. Because on this day, we fight for the soul and the future of America. We must not, we cannot surrender